Sandcastle Bay, Chapter 19, Part 2. Boone handed the phone to his son, then stepped away. Cora Jane gave him a puzzled look, but didn't ask the question that was obviously on the tip of her tongue. Unlike some people, she would never try to stir up trouble, especially in front of BJ. Boone had come to appreciate that trait more than he could possibly express. Emily had been on her own for so long, not accountable to anyone except her clients, that the realization that she needed to consider Boone and BJ caught her off guard. Once she hung up after speaking to the two of them, she sighed. Problems? Sophia asked, joining her on the porch of the house. It was the only place quiet enough to talk on the phone, much less think. I've just realized how many adjustments I'm going to have to make if I'm going to have a relationship with someone. Someone in particular? Sophia asked. Maybe this man who has you running back to North Carolina every few weeks? Emily nodded. Tell me about him, Sophia suggested. Is it serious? It's been serious since we were teenagers, Emily admitted. But I took off to make my way in the world and he stayed behind, got married, and had a child. Sophia lifted a brow, and exactly how do you fit in now? Emily gave her a chiding look. It's not like that. He's a widower, a single dad. Because of what happened before, he has a lot of trust issues about me actually making a commitment. He's also scared his son is going to get hurt if I bail again. Are you going into bail? So, Sophia asked. It's not my intention, but there are days when I wonder how we're going to pull this off, especially after a call like the one I just had. Was he on your case for not being around? No, he does understand how much this project matters to me, she smiled at Sophia. Thanks to you, I finally found a way to combine work I love with something worthwhile. I've never felt this way about a job before. Something told me it was going to be a perfect fit, Sophia said. You've always done an outstanding job for me and for everyone. I recommend you to, but I sensed there was something missing. Emily frowned. You didn't think I gave the work my all? Oh, heavens no, Sophia protested. In case you haven't noticed, there seem to be two extremes out here. There, at least in the circle of people with whom I associate. There are those who are sincerely passionate about the work and those who are in it to make a quick buck. Well, I certainly never lumped you in with the latter. You didn't have the sort of passion for the work that takes something from being a job to being something more. I like to be around people who can't wait to get out of bed to start the day. I wanted that for you too. Emily grasped what Sophia was telling her. And you're right. I think I found that now. But you think that's going to ruin your future with this man? Sophia guessed. I hope not, Emily said. But it does mean I need to consider people other than myself when I make decisions. BJ, that's Boone's son, started worrying that I'd forgotten about him. His grandmother, who's not a big fan of mine, started feeding that insecurity. So while I was here all caught up in his job, I was inadvertently hurting that little boy. How selfish is that? Sophia smiled. And now that you know about this, what do you intend to do? Go on ignoring him until it's convenient to make a call? Absolutely not, Emily said. Then lesson learned, Sophia concluded. Sweetie, it is not all that usual for people who've only had to think of themselves to need a little time to get used to what's necessary when there are others in their life. Now that you've been reminded of that, you'll make every adjustment necessary. I have complete confidence in you. What if the adjustments or sacrifices are too great? Emily asked, voicing her greatest fear. Sophia's gaze was filled with compassion. Then you'll have made a choice, won't you? You'll have chosen work over a relationship. But I don't want to be that woman, Emily complained. I'm wanting all. Sophia laughed. Then flying away, she said, "You're a smart woman. What about Boone?" she asked in frustration. "Do all the adjustments and sacrifices have to be mine?" "Not in my book," Sophia said. "But then I lost a couple of husbands because of my refusal to compromise. I don't really recommend that. Not if you're hoping that things will work out. There's always a middle ground, Emily. Find it." Emily nodded, praying that her friend was right and that she and Boone could find a solution that worked for both of them. They certainly weren't there quite yet. Emily was starting to feel pulled in two different directions, and she admitted she was starting to resent Boone for not having to give up a single thing thus far. To be fair, though, had she given once sat down with him and asked him to meet her halfway on something? No. She sat just thinking about the emotional heavy lifting still ahead for them. Sophia smiled. "Just sinking in how complicated this is going to be," she teased slightly. Emily nodded. "At least the crisis has been averted for now," Sophia said. "I'm going to take off and try to sweet talk a couple of corporate tycoons out of those some big bucks." Emily chuckled. "They don't stand a chance. I've never known you not to get exactly what you set out to get. Remember that the next time trying to wheedle something out for you," Sophia advised her. "Give it up graciously. For you, anything, anytime," Emily said. "Oh boy, have you now," Sophia exulted. "I wish I'd gotten that on tape." "My word's good enough," Emily said. "I won't forget I gave it." And now that she had given her word, she just hoped it wouldn't come back to haunt her. As Sophia took off, Emily's cell phone rang. She glanced at the caller ID as she answered. "Hey, Samantha. How are things in Tinseltown?" Samantha inquired. "Chaotic. How about New York?" "Way too quiet," Samantha said, an odd edge to her voice. "Are you getting to grandmother's for Thanksgiving?" "I'm hoping to." "You?" "I'll head down on Tuesday most likely." "Have you spoken to Gabby recently?" Emily thought of the call she got in when she sensed something wasn't right with their sister. "I spoke to her a couple weeks ago. I meant to call you then. She won't admit to anything, but I felt like something was wrong. That's what I thought when I spoke to her last night. I was going to go by there on my way to Sandcastle Bay, but she told me not to bother, that she'd probably see me over there." "Probably," Emily repeated with a frown. "What does that mean? Surely she'll show up for Thanksgiving. Even Dad usually drags himself away from the office for the holiday. I'm not convinced Gabby will this year. I do know if she doesn't, we might need to drive her over to Raleigh and see for ourselves what's going on." "Why don't I run by her place from the airport?" Emily suggested. "Maybe I can drag her with me if she's balking or something." "Even better," Samantha said. "See you next week, Elm. Travel safe." "You too." Emily sighed when she disconnected the call. If she learned nothing else this morning, it was that once family or anyone else was in your life, it was all but certain to get very complicated. Sorry about that, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Bye.